or excuse me, the first district. Who are you making the call for? Democrat or Republican?
Again, I would think because of I think Brian's going to retain it. And I think his margin, if it could actually get smaller, because it was razor thin the last time, I'm not exactly sure it's going to be any better this time, but I think he's going to carry it.
Excellent. All right. I would agree with that. So the second we did not cover. This was also overwhelming. Blue registration and just about even in terms of Republican and
I can't see the Democrats losing the second. I just can't.
Yeah, same here. So we're in agreement. Fifth is also a blue wave in terms of new registrations. So let's go.
Well, it's also Delco, and I again same function. Fifth is primarily the western suburbs of Philadelphia. Now, granted, I can't see the blue collar function that's been in place as far as the political machine that's been in place for 50 years is going to fall flat on their face relative to somebody that they have to be able to rail against, which currently you're talking the Chester area, you're talking Montgomery County, or not Montgomery, I'm sorry, Delco County, have a significant amount of, call it rebound effect, but it's not going to be enough to get any Republican in there. It's just not.
The 18th. So
that's Pittsburgh.
Sorry?
I said that's Pittsburgh if I'm not okay.
Yes. Allegheny County is Pittsburgh.
And again, I don't think you're going to see a Republican be able to carry the 18th relative to the inner city. Just don't.
Yeah, I don't either. So I guess we're calling that Democrat. There's also the 7th. The 7th, where do we think they're going to land here?
This is something basically like area that Lehigh, Northampton area has been expanding. I would call it blue, but again, it's got enough of a Republican swell. It's distinctly possible and could get carried through. But again, I don't think the numbers are going to be enough. And again, their candidate, meaning the incumbent, which is Susan Wild, is another one of those ones that they keep in the background and you haven't heard anything from. So I don't think there's enough bleed off to basically remove her. But she didn't win by much the last time, meaning it's also one of the areas, and I will tell you this, that percentage-wise in Pennsylvania has a third-party candidate that always seems to get a percentage. But that percentage always seems to come from the Republicans. Does that make sense?
It does, but do we have a third-party?
I don't know. You'd have to look.
There's still the Joe Jorgensen and the Howard, whatever. There's the Green Party and the Libertarian Party.
The Libertarians got 3 points the last time, and I would lay you dollars to donuts that all came. Literally, they all came, and it was a neck and neck vote. But if Tim Staples, who was the Libertarian Party, if the Libertarian Party doesn't throw anybody up, the Republicans can pull it. But if that Libertarian is there, they're not stealing from the Democrat.
Yeah, I actually am calling this for the Republicans in the 7th. So are you going with the Democrats or Republicans?
No, I'll go for the Republicans on this because honestly, well, no, I take it back. I'll go opposite you just to be. This will be
the one. It's probably going to be the only thing that we're going to be different on the scorecard then.
Only because, and again, I believe there's a Libertarian candidate there, but being over here, I have not followed it anywhere near as close as I would have if I was back home. The 16th have voted Republican historically. So yes. I don't see them changing their position. And if you look at where they are on the map, dude, honestly, you're talking the middle of the state and you're talking the least populous area with the least demographic anything.
And so I've said it before. I know I'll say it again. My all-time favorite quote in politics from James Carville describing Pennsylvania: Philadelphia and Pittsburgh separated by Arkansas. So
I don't see them voting anyway but Republican.
All right. So we have the 10th is going, just to be formal about it.
I would call for the incumbents and the Republicans to sweep.
Okay. So
10 through 16.
10 is going to do it. Clearly 11 is going to do it.
11's the only one, I think, honestly, seriously, that would be the only place between York and Lancaster that I could see the Democrats actually making a go of it. But honestly, I doubt that they could do it. I really doubt they could do it. I doubt they've spent enough money. The Republicans spend a lot of money in that area. And the same way when you get towards the Capitol. So again, I just don't see the Democratic machine basically spending money anywhere other than their, I'll call it East Corridor, the Allentown, Bethlehem area, Philadelphia, and the surrounding areas, and Pittsburgh. Because
well, there is I agree with what you're saying. I am, as I flip through all of these, I'm noticing again a very clearly lopsided registration for the Republicans. So I think all of those are safe, with the one exception here of the 14th. So Fayette County, Greene County, Washington County, Westmoreland. I don't know those places.
I call that, you're going to, okay. Don't take this the wrong way, folks, if you're from that area, but that's the West Virginia of Pennsylvania. I swear to God, but again, I will reiterate, I don't think the Democrats can honestly win that one. I don't.
Okay.
I don't, just because I don't think there's actually enough money that has been spent, period. They just never made it a priority. I think if they made it a priority, the Democrats, I think they could make a very good showing. But, it's just my take.
Yeah,
most of these things, Owen, are basically you get out of it what you put into it. And if they're not going to put anything into it, again, you look at where the Democrats have dumped millions upon millions of dollars. Even if Lindsey Graham wins, okay, they have scared the living crap out of them.
So you have selected 9 Democrats, and I think they're all the incumbents. Right? I don't think there's a new coming. There's no outgoing Democrat where a Democrat's coming in to take their seat. Right? We've already determined that there's nobody retiring from the 18 freshmen that were elected.
And that's the key right there. The 18 out of 18 freshmen is because of the gerrymandering fix. Okay.
Right.
And again, when you look at the map now, at least the map has a geographic hint to it, where the old map, we've had this discussion, we won't go into it, but honestly, the old map used to just make my head melt. So,
agreed.
All
right, Patrick. Well, I applaud us for finishing this on time. It's
can I make one observation?
Of course.
Okay. Do I think Trump can pull Pennsylvania out? Yes, I do. Do I think Trump can pull the election out? No, I don't. I don't think the numbers, I think there's too many states, and he has something that he didn't have the last time, which is a disenfranchised amount of Republicans that are actively working against him in all these states.
Just to remind folks, we do have the unreasonableswingers.locals.com. So you can get to that board over there where it will point out to you where you can have access to the dashboard and the predictions that we're about to put forth. And then there are polls that we'd like to get your take on how you feel about stuff so we can reflect that in the conversation we have. Patrick, thank you again. It's been quite an election season, and one way or another, we're going to call it a close in terms of election day next
week. We just won't have a winner in a week.
Again, if my forecast is working out the way I think it is, it doesn't matter what the outstanding mail ballots are. For instance, it will be decided election day, and the main reason for that being the Democrats have already done the lion's share of their voting, and they've done it through mail. You're not going to see a groundswell of mail-in ballots coming in late, and so you're just not going to see Democrats show up in person.